Mrs. Arlene Collins Mohammed. For more information, check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Straight and Narrow, or visit our website at www.opulence.com/Arlene for Life. You can also call or WhatsApp at 309-4697 or 620-9379. Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
Good about that, looking like a real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959 to 814723 or email us at coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it's not wet.
Yo, this is a Big Mike, not the mass man, the health man. Are you one of the 40 million people suffering with joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis? Well, you are listening to the right ad. You have the ailment, we have the remedy. Call us now on 288-8301 or 346-2612.
Don't forget to tune in right here on the Street 919 FM every Wednesday from 10:05 a.m.
Performance, beat all talk.
Share the line. Share the line. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the line. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the line. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the line. The Street 919 FM.
views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under commanding General Yahana will be on the street 91.9 FM every Monday from 7:05 p.m. to 8 p.m. bringing you the truth according to the Bible. The ISUPK is a non-profit faith-based community organization that will respond to the plagues that's affecting blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You also have programs such as education, both adult and youth, food distribution, rehabilitation, both drug and alcohol, mentoring, counseling, and spiritual support. Remember, tune in every Monday on 91.9 FM, 7:05 p.m. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom, Trinidad and Tobago. This is Peace and Officer Tazo holding on for Peace and Captain Galawan. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You understand, in the building under commanding General Yana, right? We set out here again for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I mean? So, welcome. Thanks for welcoming me again, you know what I mean, on the radio station. All right? And again, we could just come out, you know what I mean, to really talk with the people in them because there's a serious plague. There's two of them, actually, two big ones, right? And one of them is stemming from the abuse of children, you know what I mean, and children without getting healed. You understand? A lot of them just turn to alternative lifestyle, right? They don't know how to function. They don't understand the basic common rules, you know what I mean, and nature, how things is work now, right? And this now creating an epidemic to where we're facing a bigger virus right now, which is, you understand, the monkeypox virus. You see, the monkeypox epidemic and why the alternative lifestyle community is reaching out so much and they asking, you understand, for the virus or the vaccine or the jab, you understand, to help them combat this is because it's how rapid it's taken up, because this was something that this is something unnatural. It was never supposed to be among our society, right? So there's two things we really want to touch on, and we want to help our brothers and sisters, the so-called black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman, and child, you understand, coming out of all communities that plagued, you know what I mean, with not getting justice for that situation they face, you know what I mean, and then they'd have them, they grow up confused, they grow up not knowing, you know what I mean, how to deal with it, you know what I mean, how to avoid it, how to deal with the emotions properly, how to deal with people, you understand? And it had them confused, and then some of them turn real monsters. Some of them turn very cold and heartless, right? And that is the majority of what we're facing today. Because people ain't going out like that, you know what I mean? People ain't majority of people on the earth, you understand? You can't do them, you can't push them wrong like that. They ain't having it, right? So what it is we want to do today, we just want to touch on the reality of what's going on and watch it from what God say it was supposed to be. And why, you understand, these things are them happening. Because, again, if it have a community and it have a man running loose, and the night raping people, you understand? What will happen is they go and if the people care about the son and the daughter and all that, they go definitely team up and make sure they put that to a stop. Right? The only problem is we have them in shirt and tie and they sit down, you know what I mean, in seats of power, right? In different organizations and all that today. That is the problem. And plenty of people is what we call sweep dust under the rug. You understand? From them situations and that's how they turn out to be. That way. And then you make the excuse, you know what I mean, that grace, which is supposed to be a grace period for you to change from them ways, because the only way a man can become a mechanic is if a mechanic teach him. If a doctor, the only way a doctor become a doctor if a doctor teach him. The only way people has become child molesters, you understand, homosexuals, right, rapists, whatever the case is from somebody teaching them by either violence or, of course, abuse done to them. Right? That is not a natural thing in the face of the day. That is not like the tree is supposed to be growing up this particular way, you understand? Apples grow and it's being that season. That is not what that is. That is natural. You didn't born that way because that is not what the Lord set up on the face of the earth. You understand? So here we're going to see the point that we're at right now. We have to understand how critical it is. And knowing that there's a way out. Most importantly, what it is we come to bring today is the solution. Right? We want to give you, of course, what the Lord's saying based on it, and then you have to put two and two together because it's right there. Now we can't hide, you know what I mean? You're seeing the repercussions of this alternative lifestyle, you follow? Alright, so, give me 1 sec. Without further ado, let me just go across here and pull up this thing here real quick, right? So here, what's going on here? Right, so the LGBT, this is from BBC News, so you know it's a credible source, you understand? For who could probably see it, but the case is from BBC News, right? LGBT groups demand more action on monkeypox, right? Sexual health charities and LGBT groups are calling for the government to step up efforts to control the monkeypox outbreak in the UK. In an open letter to Health Secretary Stephen Barclay, they say that without a quicker and wider vaccine rollout, the virus could become endemic. There have been more than 2,600 cases of monkeypox in the UK so far, mostly among men who have sex with men, right? Regardless of what people say. If, you understand, if a duck is a duck, if it quack like a duck, it sound like a duck, it is a duck. If you're having sex with men and you claim to be bisexual, you to bring it to you, understand? But the truth is, you're homosexual, right? If you end up in the prison system and somebody, you understand, molest you, whatever the case is, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Again, somebody, you understand, did that to you, either from a young age or when you come in there, you know what I mean? Then you start to do that to somebody else to try and prove your masculinity, when there is no masculinity. Masculinity is the ability, you understand, to really and truly remain firm and strong based upon your standards. Nobody's supposed to turn you onto something else. They ain't supposed to change you into something that you wasn't designed to be. That is masculinity, young men, older men. You understand? Young women, older women. That is femininity, you understand? The way it was built, that is how it's supposed to operate. Not outside of that. You follow? That is why you can't reproduce coming from it. You can't reproduce, you understand, in terms of a life coming out of that, because that is not the natural way, the natural order of things. You mightn't like it. And you might make an argument that there are people, you understand, want to throw away children and they're doing this and they're doing that. That is not the point, because they and all, you understand, not supposed to be in that predicament to want to do that. That is a society that's not functioning properly. That is where they have that. Yeah? And the monkeypox, you understand, and other viruses, the AIDS, you understand, AIDS epidemic. You know, you understand, in the 80s, the 70s, late 70s, 80s, anytime you had that disease, you know, it's either, you understand, that come from homosexual sex, or it came from, you understand, a woman who, you understand, who get touched by some man, maybe some, you know, it is, you know what I mean, some man who probably have real powers, or a man, you know, who have plenty money, a man, you know, who like to swing both ways, all kind of different things, a man who having sex with somebody else's woman, you know what I mean, all them, somebody else's wife, they call it swingers, you know, all them kind of nasty behavior, all them thing and them, they spread that virus. Anytime it have man and man contact, woman and woman contact, just let you know, just let yourself know it's too fast, stick rubbing the wrong direction. You follow? And that is what is bringing about them diseases and them. That is what going on. That is what the Lord said this in the book of Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. Let me get to that real quick, right? So turn in your scriptures, in your Bible with me, to what the Lord saying, so you understand that was never a lifestyle you were supposed to learn about. That is what the Garden of Eden talking about, the knowledge of evil. That is what Eve learned, not this particular thing, but the consequences of making wrong actions or wrong choices. That is the, what you call it? That is the knowledge of evil. You understand? Where it is get from it, the knowledge or the experience you get from making wrong decisions, that is the knowledge of evil. But that is for a different topic. But just bringing it to speed to understand that this is something that the Lord set up in the beginning. There's a reward for the right thing, and there's a consequence for the wrong thing. A reward for the right one again, and a consequence for the wrong decision making. Right? Our alternative lifestyle again is not a secondary lifestyle or not a second choice. That is either death. The Lord give you two things to choose. He said either life or death. Them things important to really get in your mental. You have to see it, and don't let nobody else tell you that is not what it is. That is the major trick that they try to push in this society. That is why it's hard. It's very hard for people to accept reality and deal with it as it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? You're seeing things that blue, you understand, they're calling it orange. No, it's blue. You follow? Alright, so let me get to it. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. Right? If a man also lie with mankind as he lied with woman, both of them committed an abomination. You understand? A highly disgusting act to the Most High. And here we say though, they shall surely be put to death, right? Their blood shall be upon them. So, you know what I mean? The monkeypox, when it dealing with people in a disastrous way, when the HIV/AIDS epidemic dealing with you in a disastrous way, every time you go for a HIV/AIDS test, you understand, they ask you, as a man, if you had homosexual sex, they ask you about 20 different ways. You know why? Because homosexual sex among men does create, you understand, viruses, or you could contract a STD because it's not the natural way of things. When the health society and other people showing you things right in front of your face, they have to call it for what it is. So you understand, you have a mental disorder, as it was deemed long time in one of the books on them that used to talk about health, and they changed it because of pressure from of course, some big society that want to engage in the same thing. I want to make it, you understand, palatable to people that have money, because the homosexual, you understand, community usually do not have children. So they have excess amount of money, and I want to big up General Mahaiman, that is under command in General Yana, in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, a man of much experience, wisdom, and have credentials behind him like rain, and have the ability to help people and help a lot of people in the same homosexual community come out of that lifestyle and come back to the right thinking or the right pathway to live, and show you the fruits out of that. You know what I mean? So definitely, all feel free to tune in, call in about questions like that, so I could get to the sources so that you all could, you know what I mean, either avoid it or come out of it totally, you understand? And let the Lord give you the strength, you understand, to change back to what He created to be. All right? Again, they know, you understand, that there's an excess amount of money there because there's no children to see about, you understand, there's no responsibilities here. Usually it's a lifestyle that take a lot of addiction with pills and all that, because you're not in your right mind state, so you always have to be high. Then all I was fighting, you understand, because again, there's two fire stick rubbing in the wrong direction, so it's like two bowhead in one hole, and everybody fighting to be the man, everybody fighting to be the woman, right? It can't be so. That is why it does have that kind of problem, you follow? When it's not in the right order, and the right order is the man above the woman, you follow? Christ above the man, God above Christ. It's simple, right? The woman above the children and him. When you have that type of structure in place, well, then you have a structure. Other than that, you don't have a structure. You don't have things going the way it's supposed to go, right? So we go back to the thing, you know, because in Trinidad and Tobago, this is what we had to understand too. In the same way, we call it the same way that the US and them in the UK, sorry, they calling for vaccines and all that. The same thing they pushing for here in Trinidad, and they know this. But here's the matter. Here's what I want to let us sense: the sense of urgency. Because with the we call it with the COVID vaccine, everybody was real frantic about it. They don't want that inside of here at all. It was real kick up. All you know that it was real fight down. It's still have people that don't believe COVID real and don't believe this and don't believe that and all of that. But there was a real pushback towards the vaccine. But now look at the difference in the homosexual community pushing for a vaccine. You understand, to help them from the monkeypox disease, which is not supposed to be. You understand that drastic itself. But you know what going on? Anytime that you have it, people know you have it, and then it was whatever direction it take you from there, right? So, people knowing this is what's going on here. Here's what the minister saying now, right? I don't want to call nobody out in this lifestyle, because that is not what we come here for, right? It have certain ways that we see about people, and the countenance is kind of give them up from who they really is, right? So, again, this is the article here from Loop News. There's an MP here to minister, right? Secure monkeypox vaccines now. So he pushing for that, right? So whoever it is he aligned with, or whoever the case is, they pushing for that, and he making sure that he speak up on his behalf, on the behalf of the people he representing, which is the LGBT or the homosexual community, right? Member of Parliament for Caroni East and the UNC's shadow for health, Dr. Richard Sicharan, is calling on Health Minister Terence Dial Singh to secure an adequate supply of monkeypox vaccines for the population. Speaking at the party's weekly media briefing on Sunday, Sicharan noted that government should make the same mistake twice that was made in the procurement of COVID vaccines. So he's saying, of course, because the way they are custom operating, he know there's all going on here. So this is the code from him. They say you should do the same thing. So in other words, speaking sarcastically, all I work on this, because we don't want the same thing that happened with securing the COVID-19 vaccines to happen on this side again with the monkeypox, because we see how drastic it's moving about the earth, and who, you understand, it's showing up amongst. It is the homosexual community. Again, the Lord say your blood will be upon your own hands. You want to choose an alternative, you understand, way of living, exactly that is what it's going to be, you understand? You'll surely get your death. Either slowly or quickly. It's simple as that. So we come to give you the warning, you understand, the medicine, and the point in the right direction. We ain't come here, you understand, to pronounce a condemnation, or people let's call judging. You understand? We come to make a right assessment, which is to judge something and see from the way things going. If we don't speak up, your blood will be upon our hands. So we making sure and put, you understand, all it to the forefront and put all your notice that understand something. You see what the Lord's saying here? Pay attention to. So somebody mightn't like it, or they could go the merry way, no problem. If you're suicidal, well then Lord be with you, because that is exactly what you're doing, either or slow or quick. That is not the right mind frame to be in. Everybody should want to live and make sure people live. But here's the thing about the monkeypox now. The monkeypox spreading by you touching people. You see how women like to condone certain homosexual lifestyle and certain things, right? And your friend gay and all of that. If you touch them, if you're a family member that is a homosexual, you understand? Here's what could happen. By you not caring about your lifestyle and what the Lord says is supposed to do, right? Or you not getting the medicine, or your leaders are not bringing you up to speed, and how you living a reckless life, you could endanger, understand, babies, you could endanger older people, you could endanger people with comorbidities, right? People that susceptible to, or it's easy for them to get to contract viruses faster, and they could put them in a serious critical state. You could make that happen to them by you not caring about their welfare, by their well-being. You understand? That is how dread this thing is. So that is what you need to pay attention to. It's not just men coming and talking for talking's sake. The Lord always, in a sense, send a warning before he destroys a city. That indeed is in Amos, I think, 3 and verse 7, right? But we didn't come here to blog. We come here to show the reality of what's taking place, and we come here to put people on notice, give you all a warning. You understand? If you love your people and them, if you say you love the person that is a homosexual, you know me, check for them really and truly, they're your family member. Try to at least get help for them, and then, you know what I mean, you should keep some distance from them. Because really and truly, the Lord done set, you understand, he done release it, which means that spirit going out there, or that force going out there, and it done attacking who it is that it had attacked one time. It doing it work. That is it simple. Crab, shrimp, lobster, and all of that, they made to clean the sea. Right? Garbage truck just pass in the road and pick up the rubbish. Right? That doing the job. Everybody doing the job. The worms and them eating the dead in the ground. Everybody doing the job. You understand? The trees and them sucking up oxygen, sucking up nutrients, and bringing fruit. You understand? If it working properly. Everybody doing the job. You understand? And right now, we as blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, and Hispanics, we just get abused in the society. We don't get no help. And there's many plagues we facing, and we can't afford for this one as well to continue. Because this one here, just kill a little faster. This one is showing you by what disease is coming out. It's showing you what you're not supposed to touch at all. The Lord say, touch not the unclean thing, and I go receive you. I go be there. You can't come in my house as a big man, you understand? And then want to go and do what you want. Obviously, there'll be consequences, you understand? And that is what the Lord trying to show we as a people. We have to pick up and understand what time of the day it is. It's not a play. It's not a game. The oppressor, you understand, what them pushing on the media and all of them, putting your life in jeopardy, because these same people and them going to come around in your workplaces, all of that, right? And it's not to say, all right, we go and shun them away and we ain't going to deal with them at all. You know, well, right now we can't even touch them. Can't make the risk and touch them. Right? So it goes seem like, what you call this thing? Like discrimination. But at the same time, it's health and safety, because safety first, right? And we know this. In the workplaces, safety first, and in other places, you know, preserve life. Right? So if you really and truly love life and want to see good days and want to see your children grow up and all that, you will help your people come out of this. You will point them in the right direction, send them to Command in Juliana and the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Let them get the correct, you understand, medicine for if they want to live. Them that want to live and want to get help, you understand, and being tormented by this lifestyle they live in, let them come in this direction. Let them call the school 290-5173. Again, the number for the school is 290-5173. That is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge in Trinidad. You understand? Don't play with it. Right? So look to do something. Look out for your people and them, no, man. You know what I mean? If you going down the road and you know it had danger down the road, you know what I mean? Some big smash right down a blind corner. You want somebody to give your heads up. Right? And the same thing you're supposed to do for your people and them. Your family members and walk around the place and have a big smash up around the corner. All kind of different things, rubbish, not rubbish, car set on fire, all of that. And the Kia seat come around the corner. And that is what you had to see, and that is what coming around the corner. Slowly but surely, monkeypox, I can't even say slowly, because it's coming around in a certain amount of tempo. And it's not playing. You understand? That is the doorways that open. The Lord ain't saying, well, I go send. Yes, he could do it, you understand? But it have forces for that. It have things to do with work. Right? And when you now not operating under heat protection, them forces them will have to do it work, because you not behind the barrier. It's simple as that, you know. Once you're under the shadow or you're under the protection of the Most High, which means you're doing what you say to do, then you understand it had nothing to touch you outside it. But once you're not doing that, well, you know it had thing coming to lick you up. And that is why you had to put on speed on, because this place is very disgusting. It's very dangerous, in a sense, to live amongst a society where you're not up to speed with a lot of things. It's very, very dangerous, right? And you thinking that this is a light matter, you putting yourself in as you playing Russian roulette. That is just what it is, right? People who understand Russian roulette is mean that you take a loaded handgun, especially a revolver, because that don't stick really, that don't stick, right? And you're spinning it with one bullet inside, and then you're clicking here so to see, well, okay, if the one bullet go either kill you or not. That is Russian roulette. That is not a game to play. Anyway, back to the topic. Look out for your people and them, you understand? Make sure, you understand, that you warn them and you tell them, hey, here's what's going on. This lifestyle here, we was never supposed to be in this. You follow? This as a people, and you care, you know what I mean? You care, not afraid to say it. You have to look out for them. Like if you want somebody to look out for you, do unto others as you like done unto yourself. You understand? And you're going on. The Lord don't say that. He don't say in Leviticus, you're going on. This is what I don't want you to do. Because your blood will be upon your own self. I'm not playing with this. I make certain rules here because I don't want to let us spread that poison among my society. I don't want to know I growing up, you understand, I coming up, or I am my children that I invested in, and life, you understand, put all this and give them blessings and all of that, right? And then somebody come in behind the shadows and interfering with them and then tainting my good stock. Nobody want that. Whichever business owner you know, you understand, have a food place or something, and as soon as you turn your back, you understand, somebody spitting in the food or some kind of nastiness going on. That is how we had to see this homosexual lifestyle. Brothers and sisters, my brother, that is who Wole is, understand? That is who we is as a people. We is one nation, blacks, Hispanics, Native, Indians, we is one race of people. And we have to look out for each other. I do not care, understand? We should not care if any other race want to do that. That is not what the Lord say for you to do. You're supposed to steady tone, because use the most handsome, use the best looking, you understand? Use the strongest, use the most forgiving, all kind of different things, you know what I mean? All kind of different ways that we learn how to properly use. That is why we get in this kind of licks day and night like this. We have to set the defenses on them, and we in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge set in defense to make sure that you all get the proper defense for your mind state, you understand, to protect your communities so that this could change. You follow? So let me bring back masculinity the proper way and bring back femininity in the women and them and the little children, the little girls and them, the way it's supposed to go. And eradicate all this that demonic thing, this that demonic behavior and thinking everything's sweet and having patience with this kind of garbage. You have to go to it, you understand, full head on. If you want to learn how to do that, you understand, you have to come in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under command of General Yana, you understand? With schools spreading all over the place, and let me spread the proper thing. Right? Caller come in. Let me take the call real quick, right? You don't know. Yeah, caller. Good night. Night time. What time? Yeah, good night. Caller. I hear you. I know if you can hear us. Yeah, caller. Second. Hello? I can barely hear your question. Oh gosh, you're breaking up a little bit. Yes, no. Let me see if I can put you on loudspeaker, right? I'll try again, sis. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, sis. Go ahead. Right. Right. That's it. No, at all. Mm. No, at all. Because nobody would like them, and I hear you fall on Judge Session, and that is the correct thing you're saying there. How the hell you could get up in the morning, you fall and feel you want to be, so somebody must feel like they want to take all your goods, and they should allowed to do that. They should be allowed to walk into the bank. I feel like I is the vault, and I could walk out the bank with all the money. You see how it's good for some, and it ain't good for us? Madness. Mm-hmm. That's it. We have to combat it, sis. We have to put our stand it, just like if our community is to say there's no drugs being sold here, and we will. No problem, sis. No problem, sis. Right? Again. Thanks for the call. We greatly appreciate it, right? Don't know, so hey, big up to the decision again, and she right for saying that. You can't just get up in the morning and decide where you want to be. That is now, you have a role and function. The Lord make you to do a certain thing. You follow? And you have to tap into that and not, you understand, run away from, you understand, the things that will make you stronger, the things that build you up to fortify you to be, you understand, where you're supposed to be. Anytime you do that, you understand, you will continue to get licks and beat down. You follow, embarrassed and all of that. Because you're not in the right mind state, you're not in the frame that you're supposed to be in. And that is what we've been robbed of as our people, as blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. Right? The leadership is weak. The Lord say in Jeremiah 14:2, the Jews are black unto the ground, and the gates, the protection has languished. Meaning non-existent, it fall down. That's supposed to protect you from doing that. From that. A man go say, well, boy, you understand, he's the baddest number out here. He's a 6, he's a 7, he's a 9, whatever the case is, boom, boom. And I could do you what I want. No, that is not how that goes. Somebody advantage you and bully you. So you don't want to look into bully somebody else, you understand? That is not what it is. You understand? You're supposed to be building up with your communities, but here what this oppressor makes sure and do, he take away all your ability. He take away all, you understand, your ability to reason first things first, for you to see it, you understand, and call it for what it is. For you to know, you understand, combat it through economic structure, through financial education proper. I ain't talking about no sort of big degree and all that. That is not financial education. In terms of talking about how to properly use the resources, what to, you understand, what is a good investment. You follow, as small as it may be, we're not talking about, you understand, nothing too extravagant. We're just talking about the basic ideology of how things work. You understand, we've been robbed of that as our people, and we have to fight to get it back. That is the Lord say you shall discontinue from your heritage. That is Jeremiah 17:4. That is why you don't understand exactly what's going on. That is why you don't understand how to combat it, you follow. And real people thinking, you know what I mean, that this is something real big. It come to be a big issue now. Because that is not something, it's simple as this. We don't do that here. We don't do this, you understand? This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. As much as we stand up and say, this is not acceptable, that not acceptable, it would not be acceptable. It's real simple, but you need to be in a culture, in an environment, in the surroundings to make sure that that is enforced. It's simple as that. And if you understand, because right now we could enforce it to a certain degree, what we need to do is come back to doing it so that the Lord could say the entire earth now could come back to where it's supposed to be. Now it could get a proper reset, and this is what's going on here. And going forward, I don't want to hear none of this. Anybody think to come up with any garbage like this, we'll make a public example, show the entire earth, you understand, that you don't do this. In Solomon time, when you're reading the Bible, you're thinking it's a fairy tale, but in Solomon time, when you set a standard, you follow and you operate with the wisdom the Lord gives to you, nations from far and wide knows that this is not acceptable, this is acceptable. If you come across us here, you understand, you'll be eradicated, and that is why his kingdom had 40 years of peace. Until he started to go off and lose sight of what he had, which is a treasure, which is the defense for your people and them, which he threw down, he let down, you understand, his vanguard, his protection, and he is one of the biggest gate, which was the king at that time, you understand? He let down, we call it, his protection, and then the people them started languish. Then we went into disrepair. You follow, because you didn't put checks and balances in place, so you didn't ensure that these things continue to remain, you understand, the standard. When you have that going on, you will get licks. You follow until you learn how to make sure you put them back up again. And that is what needs to happen, right? So the homosexual community, you understand, we are not here to condemn you and say this is what's going on happen. We're not putting a so-called mouth on you. What we're telling you all is this, on the swingers too, the adulterers, and the man who like to sleep with man girl, and the woman who like to fling their saltfish all over the place. Excuse my colloquialism, my terms. But we have to get real with all here and understand what time of the day it is. This is not a time for games. You will get touched up. Because the Lord don't say if you're not doing what it is he say to do, outside of them gates, you Alex to get. So we just have to watch your dead carcass on the ground or wherever the case is, because that is what you wanted. That is how the Lord is make a public example out there. Now the monkeypox, when you touch somebody, or you can't hide no more, somebody with HIV/AIDS, they could still, you understand, bob and weave, and people might not know that is what's going on until they start to get dry and hard and they can't function and certain things. You follow? But now you make a public example the way touching them all up on the skin. All on the outside, because you're thinking, you know, that I could play mad and I's my own God and I's this and I want to feel, and you will get a rude awakening, which is, this is not what it is. This is not the reality. What you think in your head does not matter. What the Lord say to do, you understand, that is exactly what the hell you have to do. Yeah? That is exactly what you need to do. So you need to wake up out. It's high time to wake out of sleep, because you've been sleeping so long and you're bought into the lie and into the dream that this is a lifestyle that you could choose. There's no gray area. There's not another option. There's only life and death. There's only life and death. The choices you make, you understand, will carry you down either one path. Either onto life or onto death. It's very, very simple. It is not easy. It is not easy to live a right lifestyle because you're going against the grain, which is the influence of society today. Right? And let me get one thing straight for you all today. Understand who is the person to blame for this, or the person to look out for. Most importantly, because he's setting up the entire structure setting up the entire structure for the whole world to run this way. So let us go to the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. All right? Let me follow along and let me go to this Bible and let it make sense. Make it make sense, you know. Let's go. All right? The book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. So here the Lord saying, you know, right? The Lord saying the earth, you understand that you see that we on today, that we live on and exist on today? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges. He covered Commandant General General Mahaiman, the general, the captains, the officers, the captains, sorry, the officers like myself, you understand, the young officers, the men and them, the men that will say the right things, that the Lord said, this is how you just judge this, this is the way to look at this is the way to perceive this is right and this is wrong. They're covering this up with the media. That is how they're doing it. They're covering it up by different societies and this and the NBA and this and they involved in this and pretending they care. That is not a caring society. When you understand, alluding people to where they think that this is the option to how to live, and you understand, this in your sentence, you know what I mean? And that is where you like, and you're endorsing these people and them and giving them more power to go and continue to spread this lifestyle, the Lord will put you to the correct way and let you know monkeypox is going to correct this. HIV/AIDS is going to correct this. This is not what it's supposed to be. So you could try to cover the faces of the judges thereof, because you in charge of the world. So you decide that I'm going to do wickedness, because as the Lord say, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So understand this, brothers and sisters. Understand who's the person that ruling over you. Who over in the North America and the European places, you follow the so-called colonial master. That is the man that's setting the tone for what you think supposed to be a reality on the face of the earth, when that is not the case. And the Lord is correcting it with these plagues and diseases. That is what's going to set this place back in the proper order, because you learn to fear the Lord. It's like a good father. When you think you could do it as you want in my house, he'll give you a good cocktail. He'll bust your skin good and proper. If all it's just sad that you have to end up getting touched up and being made a public example. So if you care about the people that live close to you, what you would do is you would put them on notice, put them on warning. Let's go back to the article real quick, right, and see what the minister is saying. So you understand this is something real. This is not a game. This is not a joke. And the reason why they're pushing like this is because they know what will come and touch them up if they try it, if they don't try to hide it, if they don't try to get a rap on it. Instead, the Lord telling you, stop doing that. You see that day? I'll put a proper cut skin on your tail. So stop your garbage before I let you know what time of the day it is and string you up. If all we get to lose, you understand, the sincerity and the respect for the Most High Power. We get to lose that. You get to lose that fear. That good fear used to put in you, and understand it coming back on the earth again. It's very soon to come, and what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to do is come out of the way. Daddy's swinging his belt. He's swinging the big fan belt, he's swinging the pot spoon, he's swinging wherever he find. to cut your skin with, or you putting your knee long in the ground, or you putting your in a corner to where you like where it is you like, and there's nothing for you. You will see no days outside. You understand where you like? I'll take it all. And that's why we need to wake up and realize what time of the day it is and stop sugar-coating garbage. Stop looking at feces on the ground and putting sprinkles and sugars on top of it. And give people the real, you understand? That is how they show love for each other. If you love somebody, you understand, you'll tell them the truth. You'll teach them the truth, you understand? You'll show them exactly what to do, and I'm very, very grateful. I am a very blessed individual, and that is not the idea here. We very privileged in the ISUPK so that somebody could love we enough, could truly love we to tell we exactly what to do, what to look for, what they're supposed to be, and all of that. When would you come, you understand, to where true love is? How long would you linger, you understand, and let the wicked, you understand, teach you or abuse you outside here again? That is up to you. For them that are looking for true love, you understand, which is instruction, correction, guidance, and with guidelines, things not to do, things you might feel not to do, but you have to do. Things to make sure that, you understand, you feel uncomfortable saying, but you have to say. And the right way of saying it so that you don't come across as somebody that don't understand care or don't really care about people, you understand, and what they should be doing. Do not do that. Don't do that, you understand? Sometimes you have to put a good checking on people, or sometimes you have to cut them off and let them know what time of the day it is. You see, that folly you want to bring yourself, you want to try and wrap me up in, I not on that. You could keep that over so. You understand? Vex at me, telling whatever the case is, eyes, whatever, say whatever in your mouth, I don't care. That is where you have to come to. When you come to that, you understand, then you come to life. Stop playing the oppressor and all them stinking ways and them get to you, understand, and push you off your square. You're supposed to hold your square as a man, as a woman. You're supposed to learn what that is. Right now, we don't have it. As a people, we need to get it back. You understand? But let me go back to what the man's saying here. Right? So the same minister, that is the same Dr. Richard Citron, right? Speaking at the party's weekly media briefing on Sunday, Citron noted that government should make the same mistake twice that was made in the procurement of COVID-19 vaccines. He said we must take contingency plans to combat a future outbreak of monkeypox and to ensure that we as a nation have sufficient resources. I call for Minister Dayal Singh, with the assistance of Minister Amory Brown, to immediately reach out to our foreign partners and to secure doses of vaccines and therapeutics for the monkeypox virus. Citron claimed further that Minister Dayal Singh's reliance on PAHO for monkeypox vaccines has again put Trinidad and Tobago at the back of the line to purchase directly from the manufacturer. The Caroni East MP also called on the Minister of Health to make the necessary budgetary allocation to purchase an adequate supply of reformulated COVID-19 booster vaccines from Pfizer or Moderna in September, October 2022, pending the requisite regulatory approvals. He said the new vaccines will be reformulated to perform better against the now dominant and extremely contagious Omicron sub-variant BA.5 and also the BA subvariant. He said further that the minister should also consider the use of the antiviral drug Paxlovid for the management of the COVID-19 virus. Clinical trials of Paxlovid showed that it reduced the risk of hospitalization and death by 88% when given within 5 days of the start of symptoms. You see, I want to highlight something. I want to take the 2 minutes to point out something here. Remember when the COVID-19 jab, the vaccine, was under clinical trial state and how much people kick up against that? Pay attention, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man and woman. What did this teach for you that ain't good is definitely the opposite. Because look, the homosexual society that live in a more dangerous life, looking for things for that under clinical trials to make sure that they preserve their life a little longer, to enjoy the folly a little longer, to understand, to not care about things a little longer, to bury the history, the past and the hurts and not face them and get the necessary strength to become better and brand new and be an example for somebody else, to be the strength for somebody else that went through the same thing, the same plagues, you understand? Instead of doing that, what they're looking for is an escape route so that they could continue living this disgusting lifestyle, you understand? And that is what we have to understand something. When we see these things, you understand, going about on a foot and making it way around the place, just understand in clear daylight in front of your face, pay attention. What it is? Hint, clue, clue. Understand what time of the day it is. Don't play with it. Don't let nobody get in your brain with this sort of garbage and see reality for what reality is. You understand? They don't want you understand, to get the things that are necessary for you. You follow? But when it comes to the things that they love to do and they set a loss and wait, they rather waste money and time and energy and all of that in a set of disgusting ways and continue to push wickedness on top of things. They see how push, they see how hard they're pushing it. They don't clear it under clinical charge. They just want it. They don't care. The same way, you understand? A homosexual, a lot of them, there's molest children. That is how they make more homosexuals. They don't care if the child, you understand, not seeing the period yet or whatever the case is, or they don't care if you're not supposed to touch a boy there. You know what they're doing? They're going to molest them. There's a time, and this, you can look it up. I'm not talking speed talk here. We're talking reality talk. There was a time that the homosexual community said that it's going to molest your children. We're going to do it. That is what they say. We'll make them more homosexual. They know that is exactly how you create it. So when the Israelite School and Universal Practical Knowledge come on the radio show, come on wherever it is, talk over the internet and state these things and them, just understand we're talking reality. We is telling you, understand, that they is going to molest your children. If you don't watch it, they is going to do this, they is going to do that. That is what they say they're going to do outrightly. They didn't say behind closed doors. This is not what you call it, a so-called conspiracy. This is an agenda that they set out to do. They was abused, they're going into abuse. Obviously, anybody that does not change from a toxic lifestyle, they will continue to push it because that they believe that is how they're going to get justice, or they're going to deal, or they're going to get vengeance. What you do, you understand, to eliminate all of this is to stop it in the nipple, you nip it in the body. And that is how you just change a society, you understand, by all this madness. You understand? You put down your foot early. And they say, this is what's going on here, this is exactly what we're going to do. We're not going to support nothing else. We're going to say, thus say the Lord. The Lord say, homosexuality is an abomination. Understand something. I'm not going to make you feel comfortable about that lifestyle. I know I setting you up for death. And that is a wicked thing to do, you understand? This is what they're pushing for. When they're pushing you understand, they get vaccines that are supposed to change in. Because again, they don't have that wisdom, they don't have fear of the Lord. If they had the fear of the Lord, you know what they're pushed to do? They try and get people out of this lifestyle, try to get more counseling for them. You understand? Send them to Command and Juliana. Spend money, invest more money, you understand? The centers for black people that get therapy. You understand? Coming out of slavery, where's the institutions for us to get therapy, to learn exactly how to think, how to live, and to heal from these parasites? You understand? Instead of we turn into monsters, it's just doggy dog outside here. And everybody want to be monster, everybody want to be, you understand? Thing, push over until they're dead. Because you have no common sense in you, so you have no value for life, so you know where you're going to eventually, this is what you're going to do, you're going to choose that in any case, you're going to choose death. That's reality, right? That is the reality that we doesn't want to say. But it's right there, right at the tip of our tongue, or somebody ain't making it plain to us. Because again, that is death. The Lord said, choose life or death. That is the road you're going down, you'll choose death. It's simple as that. You might like it. It might sound good. But Buckley's last time I checked, as they say it's awful, but it was work. Yeah, so you had to put that in your pipe and smoke it. We're not encouraging smoking either. But you understand the term we're coming from. You have to accept it, you understand, for what it is. So again, we call on the homosexual community to stop, you understand, stop abusing each other, right? And if you care about each other, if you care about life, you care about children, you care about your parents and all of that, your so-called, what you would do is you would ensure, you understand, that you come out of that lifestyle. Teach your people and them the right thing to do. You understand? Put them up to speed. Or you go and seek help for each other. Or you can live the right way and see good days, you understand? And the Lord could say, well, I could have mercy upon them. I could put them under my covering so that when these plagues pass, just like I did look up Egypt, you follow that you don't think exists. Well, today, you understand? Exodus 9. In fact, I'm going to pull that one time. Big ups to General Myman again. He pushed that scripture out the other day, you understand? Showing we, hey, this is monkeypox for you. Right? Okay, you think, you know what I mean, that the Bible ain't real now. Since you think the Bible ain't real, let me get to the meat of the matter, right? So here's what, tell me if this doesn't sound like monkeypox. This is the book of Exodus chapter 9 and verse 9, right? And it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man. and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man, and upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt. What does it look like that? What does look like that, ladies and gentlemen? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indian, and Hispanic. What does look like that? If that a monkeypox coming again, I don't know what is. But here what? Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the first verse. Say what the Lord said to us. We was not ever supposed to experience this. Monkeypox was supposed to be some kind of legend, and the Lord saying, if you only play mad, like our good father warning you. And that was never, you was never supposed to see this. That was supposed to be a warning, a good warning to scare you into behaving yourself. But look what going on. You thought the Lord was talking, you thought the Lord was saying boogeyman story or whatever. You get tapped. If you get waxed up, you understand, you feel it has some kind of other way to live. The Lord put you on speed, and here you see. He said like a good father because he ain't trying to beat you down, we trying to encourage you. So he's saying, right? When you're in your right mind state now, and you could listen to what it is saying, because I now pull you from Egypt, I now pull you from death basically. When you settle down and I know all you're thinking, right? Because I ain't getting no pull to no swine. So all you right frame of mind, all you want to come and see me, all you say, Moses, all you go and check him. Because you see me, I ain't not playing. When all you's in the right mind state, and I could hear, for them who could hear, who are ears to hear, this is who I talking to here today. This is who the Lord trying to send, you understand, a little message to, because everybody else, we're not dealing with that. The Lord is not begging nobody. You understand? He gain your forewarning, this is what it is. If you can't adhere, you just get licks. In other words, you didn't get the briefing because you wasn't tuned. You didn't come and sit down in the Monday meeting. So you didn't get no briefing, you understand? So you're going, you gotta get licks, right? Straight. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, how it is listen, and you make sure you execute. That is how you're proving that you hear diligently, you execute on what it is the Lord say to do. You understand? So that is what listen is. Don't listen, it pass you one ears and go on to the next. When you listen, you really tune in and you hear diligently. Yes, boom, boom, boom. I might take a book and write it down, wherever it is there at that time. Or make sure that it stick in the brain. This is what we just do, this is what we does not do. And that is why it might be in Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. You understand? He put it, Exodus. So he put it 4 places to repeat it again. Again, this is what we just eat, this is what we don't eat. This is what we just do, this is what we don't do. This is who we have sex with, this is who we don't have sex with. You understand? So that you know exactly what it is I require of you. When you don't listen to me and don't hearken diligently, you will get the opposite. But here we say now, you understand? So you say, well, good children, you understand? Listen to me, mother, good children. Right? Or father, good children, good son. You know, daddy, good daughter. Listen to me good, right? Again from the top. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Above all races on the earth, you will be on high. You would not be going and trying to assimilate into East Indian culture, which is your ass and your head mat up and it full of lice and you're smoking. You ain't supposed to do that. That is East Indian culture. You not above. You put yourself underneath another nation there one time, under a different race. That is not your culture. You went below. That is a base thing to do. You want to eat, you understand? But you want to eat crab, that is another nation, another race, culture. You went and put yourself below that. You were supposed to be above that. Just like in an argument, or whatever the case is, I not going down that pathway, you're supposed to be above that. You went and put yourself underneath it. Understand how damaged we is as a people. How much psychologically we damage as a people. You understand how much we lacking. Again, because the gates there of language, so this is not being taught, widely spread. This is how we just live. You went and take on African customs, you understand, putting in your nose, you're doing all kind of manner evil, all kind of nastiness, and dust in your head, and you're bathing on that cow bottom, and while you're peeing, that nastiness, you went and put yourself underneath another nation. You went and put yourself under a different race, because you went under their influence, under their culture, as opposed to what the Lord tell you to do. And he said that you will be above them, which means you're not supposed to be oppressed by them. Anytime you're under their culture, you're under their rules, and whatever they say goes. That is why we cannot make it as a people out here. You want to know why black people curse? It is a punishment because you're observing other people's culture. You're under other people's influence. You understand? So you have to get other people's treatment. Whatever they decide to do with you, that what acceptable to them. They don't do each other that. They don't push drugs in the communities. They don't do that. They don't go and take their daughters and put them in bottles. They don't do that. But there's go the Chinese, you understand? Or go the Chinese general who was how much ranking out of people, out of a billion people in that country. You go on from quite across the next side of the world. That come across to this side, right? To go and take Venezuelan children, little girls, and put them in bottles, put them in whole house. To go and, you understand, to go and fling the tail so you could eat a little bit of money. That is how base as a people, these so-called high-ranking people is. You put yourself under their culture and want to know feng shui and Buddhism and all kind of madness. That is the kind of culture you put yourself under. The Lord did not say that for you. You understand? Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. Now we go up to the curses now, the punishment, right? So the Lord say now the flip side of it now, but you know touching on a little bit, right? Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All these curses, including this. Let me pull out that same one. This is the one you go for, right? Let me read 17, and then we go read verse 18. In fact, let's read verse 18, verse 19, then we go to the something, and then you go to the same what we're talking about, right? The same thing that you're facing as a people, right? With the monkeypox and this and that and the other, all them diseases are not written in the book. That is what you're facing today. You want to know where this come out from? That is what the Lord says. A punishment, a curse will come upon thee if you don't listen to what it is I tell you to do. Simple as that, right? You go ahead and play mad. Anyway, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 18. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body. So your children that coming out, you understand, some of them coming out AIDS babies and all these different things coming out with all kind of different defections and this and that, the other. Curse shall be the fruit of your body. What coming out of here, you understand? Your sperms and your oh gosh. Your womb. What coming out of your womb, you understand? Curse. Punish. Because you don't listen to what the Lord say to do. Either they cause it themselves, you understand, that same baby come back in reincarnation, they come back and born on the earth again. Or, you understand, the parents ain't listening, well, here going on. This is the fruit of your actions. This is what's going on here now. Hopefully you learn. You understand? Hopefully you listen now. Right? Anyway, reading on. And the fruit of thy land, all your crops, everything coming out, you understand, is garbage. Wasting. Ain't bringing the kind of strength they're supposed to yield. All of that. Punishment. Curses. Right? The increase of thy kind. The increase of kind, they can't increase. And the licks with them sometimes they finish. They can't multiply as it's supposed to. Kind is an animal. I think that is a type of cow, right? If I'm mistaken, right? And the flocks of thy sheep. Your sheep supposed to be bearing nice wool, ting. Whatever the case is, they can't bear properly. There's problems because you ain't listening to what your father say. No problem. You go face the cold, as we just say. You understand? Face the streets. Man and woman, you go face the streets. If you don't like to listen to what your father say, understand? You go face outside there and let you see if you can make. Simple as that. Right? Now you go up to 30. Right? Nice. In fact, let you go to 40 because we barely have time, right? To 40. All the turn with me, right? 43. We now talking about the Lord say you're supposed to be above other nations, but now you're below. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 43. The stranger, the Lord don't know them. Them strange, who's them? I'm like a man coming in his own. Who's them? Me know them. Them strange men. Them strange girl and them. The Lord don't know them. He said the stranger that is within thee that living around here. Or come in a city to operate. That's like how the 1% of them is. You know what I mean? That's a reality. The 1% of them, there's both that is the biggest. They're not the majority of numbers, but they are the most amount of money. Yeah, so then clue. Right in front of the eye, as we like to say. Right there. Yeah? The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, very, very high, to the top of the necklace towers. And thou shalt come down very low. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee. Yours are the top before, you know, but you're going to lend to you now, right? He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Yeah, and it wagging the dog, wagging the tail. I mean, the tail wagging the dog now. Yeah? Let me get to Romans, because you have to understand something. You see, when this happened, and for men that think, you know, I so masculine, and this can happen to me, and I a top dog, think, I whatever the case you feel is, you understand, out here? feel is the baddest and you don't like to listen to God, woman, same thing. Here's what happened to you. You might end up, you understand, in between somebody's leg and you don't know how you reach there. Right? Romans chapter 1, verse 24. You don't like to listen to God. No sweat, right? I'm finishing up here right quick. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness, to the lust of their own hearts, your own mind. He gave you up to that, to dishonor your own bodies between yourselves. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie? Straight. Alright, what you don't know, you gotta get up. Next week, please, the Most High. Alright, all tune in to Black Watch with Commander Juliana, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shalom.
Every Monday from 7:05 p.m. to 8 p.m. Bringing you the truth according to the Bible. The ISUPK is a non-profit faith-based community organization that will respond to the plagues that's affecting blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We also have programs such as education, both adult and youth, food distribution, rehabilitation, both drug and alcohol, mentoring, counseling, and spiritual support. Remember, tune in every Monday on 91.9 FM, 7:05 p.m. Shalom.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Crucial is Friday night, blazing the fire as usual, and you're listening to Pastor Google on Street 919 FM. Boom!
The Street 919 FM.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.